It is very funny how far some Nigerians can go while doing the wrong thing, instead of just taking one step to do the right thing. Former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Buratai, made a long post on his verified Facebook page. Reading that post, you will feel that he's just being a patriotic Nigerian trying to protect the sovereignty and interest of Nigeria and also trying to protect Tinubu. But in summary, he is making a mockery of Tinubu. What he's trying to protect, or what he tries to convince Nigerians that he's trying to protect, is already lost. It was lost many years ago. Let's start with the headline and we start analyzing how what he's doing is making a mockery of Tinubu. That post starts with this title: Nigeria First, a case for protecting national sovereignty and dignity, a patriotic and non-partisan perspective. There are some paragraphs that you will read, very laughable. Let's start with this one. It is tempting to frame this as a personal legal battle involving President Tinubu. This framing is dangerous and incomplete. When the world reads headlines about the Nigerian president linked to drug allegations, they do not separate the man from the nation. They see Nigeria, they see Nigerians, they see a country whose leadership is tainted by scandal. You can see how laughable this paragraph sounds. Where was Buratai in 2022 during the APC presidential primaries? This letter he is writing today should have been written at that time. He should have used all his influence over Muhammadu Buhari to pressure him into stopping Tinubu from contesting the APC primaries. Even if he has to go as far as urging the National Assembly to pass a law specifically for Tinubu, yes, that law should have been made for Tinubu alone to stop him from contesting. If it's to be taken seriously, that is about protecting the sovereignty of Nigeria and protecting the image of Nigeria in the international community, he should have done that under Muhammadu Buhari. At least he had a level of influence over Muhammadu Buhari. He was his chief of staff. He also served under Muhammadu Buhari in different capacities. He should have done that. But for cronyism, for the need to return a gesture to Tinubu, Tinubu supported Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. He not only financed his election, he also brought in votes in 2015 and in 2019. So they needed to repay him that favor over and above this sovereignty and all the blah 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 he's writing today. So that ship has sailed 3 years ago. It didn't even start at that time. It started way back 33 years ago when Tinubu forfeited $460,000 to the US government. The US government did not force him to commit a crime. He committed it on his own and he was caught and he made a deal. We'll see what Alex Babi said about that deal in a moment. So trying to gaslight Nigerians now that they should rally behind him as if Tinubu and Nigeria are the same. No, they are not the same. He can't seriously be urging Nigerians that they should not hold their leader to account. When you hold an individual to account, it is different from holding Nigeria to account. Many people in the intelligence community already knew about him when he made that forfeiture in the early 90s. And it also came to light in 1999 when he first contested for governor of Lagos State. Ever wonder why the credentials he submits to INEC have always been changing? The credentials he submitted in 1999 are different from the one he submitted in 2003, and in 2022, the credentials he submitted to INEC are different from the one he submitted now. He has been reducing and withdrawing some of the qualifications he keeps bragging that he has. So ever wonder why he does that? It is simply because when he submitted the first time in 1999, he was exposed. He gave reasons. The matter actually went to the Supreme Court. Gani Fawemi, the fearless human rights lawyer, he went to court, but they couldn't do anything. So starting from Obasanjo's administration, including the IG and the Supreme Court justices, they failed to stop him at the time. They failed to stop that disgrace of Nigeria. They failed to protect that Nigeria's sovereignty at that time. This was more than 20 years ago. In 2022, another opportunity presented itself for Nigerian authorities to do the right thing to protect Nigeria's sovereignty. They failed woefully to do that. So why is Buratai making a mockery of not just Tinubu but himself? What does he actually want to protect? Saying that the US has no right to interfere in Nigeria's internal affairs, to hold our leader to account and scrutinize us? No, that's not the issue at all. The US government and the courts in the US, they are not trying to hold anyone to account. They are just upholding their own law. A Nigerian citizen applied to a US court for the release of all the files about Tinubu. He has a right to do that. With all they knew, the authorities in Nigeria, all they knew about him, they should have stopped him. They should have said, what will the world think about us that we allowed such a man to lead us? A man with this kind of baggage. By allowing him to get to power, what we are telling the world is that we are a banana republic. That we don't have any other person that can lead us except someone with a baggage. That's the message here. So he should have intervened at the right moment to make sure the thing was nipped in the bud. It's just like pouring water into a basket. The water has been leaking since you started pouring that water, and you now realize, let me try to patch it so that the water will stop leaking. But it has already started leaking. The world already knew about this story more than 33 years ago. And Nigerian authorities already knew about this story, starting at least from Obasanjo's administration. They all failed to stop him. And the man that had the best opportunity of stopping him, that's talking about Muhammadu Buhari, he failed to do it. Now, the deed has been done, the ship has sailed. Nigerian citizens are now the ones doing the job of the authorities. He still wants Nigerian citizens not to do their job. So they can go a long way, turning around in circles just to protect a crime. Yes, it is practically what he's trying to do. He's trying to tell Nigerians, hey, we know that he has this baggage, he did this, he forfeited drug money, he was involved in a lot of things in the past. We should just hush about it so as to protect our image. Why didn't you stop him from getting to that power so that Nigerians wouldn't need to do anything afterwards in order to protect Nigeria's image? Now, let's see another funny paragraph. The United States District Court for the District of Columbia has given President Tinubu, the FBI, and the Department of Justice until August 28, 2026 to oppose the release of documents allegedly linking Nigeria's leader to drug trafficking investigations from over 3 decades ago. The FBI now admits it holds highly sensitive information and has requested private judicial review, a procedural development that, while legally significant, should not dictate Nigeria's national response. My viewpoint argues that Nigerians must resist this disclosure in the interest of national pride and image. President Tinubu's character, whatever its complexities, is inextricably tied to the character of the Nigerian people today. A nation does not throw its leader to the wolves of foreign scrutiny without considering the profound consequences for its collective dignity. This last line betrays whatever he had in mind while writing this post, so you can only conclude that he is only making a mockery of Tinubu. He accepts the fact that he has a checkered past, that he committed a crime 33 years ago in the United States, but is now telling Nigerians that, hey, we should just forget about what he did in the past and support him, that out of 250 million people, they don't have anyone that can do the job except a man that is tainted. How can that make any sense? This kind of mentality is why Nigeria is underdeveloped and will remain so in the nearest future except Nigerians fight and take back their country. They know that a man has a problem, he has a checkered past. And it's not as if that checkered past is a secret. They knew everything, but they pushed him along anyway. They forced him on Nigerians. Now it has blown open to the face of everyone. They are running helter-skelter, telling people to hush hush. How can these people be this heartless? Imposing someone on Nigerians just because of cronyism. They want to pay him back at the detriment of Nigeria's image, at the detriment of Nigerians at large. Every Nigerian has been affected by this just because of the decision of a few people in power at the time. So that decision they made that time is now hurting everyone. So Nigerians must understand that allowing a few people to decide their fate is a very huge mistake. It should never happen again in future, starting from 2027. The majority of Nigerians must stand their ground and decide their future by themselves, not allow a few people, a few thugs, a few gangsters to continue to decide the leader of this country. Now, let's hear Alex Babi. You must know him. He has been in the Middle Belt, reconstructing many destroyed homes, supporting the displaced Nigerians in a country where millions still live in IDP camps. These ones don't concern them. They're only concerned about capturing power. They never care about what they do with that power. Let's take a listen.
So the sitting president of Nigeria really had forfeited hundreds of thousands of dollars to the US government. And now the Nigerian government and the FBI are petitioning courts in America to not release these files, to not let the public know what actually happened and what was done. And so I'm here, and many are here fighting for the lives of people who are being killed in Nigeria innocently. And this is being concealed, this is being hidden. And what I have to say is that if the US refuses to release these files, they are complicit in the killing of Nigerians. We cannot allow criminals to be in power and allow their citizens to be massacred and then conceal the very files of the truth of who he was and what he did. This is life or death for Nigerians. And the US should be doing everything in power to save lives in Nigeria. It's been 2 decades of massacres and has been unlooked and watched. Every single day that this continues to persist, it's a massive injustice by the world and Nigerian leaders.
According to this man called Buratai, he said that Tinubu drug document will embarrass Nigeria and influence the 2027 election. You understand? So what you try to do, what this matter do now, if they mock Tinubu, you understand? If they mock her. So I don't say Tinubu get case for America, that case, you understand? It's still they go on, you understand me? So all those things, now also this genesis of this case, this drug issue, it don't till we start, not be today. It don't take, you understand me? It don't take. So anytime we election, they come. Now the case, now the release of the case. You understand? Now the release of the case. So before election is finished, the case will see quench. My boss for Tinubu made for you resign. Me you resign. You understand? Me you resign. And secondly, he does still hold. he not get used again. We not the benefit. We not the benefit. We Nigerians, we not the benefit anything for administration. We not benefit anything. May you resign. More know where we dey. You understand? So that's what it be.